Seasonic, the heart of your system.
I'm Leo Walder for Kit Guru. Today's review is of this Corsair Dominator Platinum RGB memory, the first product to use Corsair CAPELLIX RGB LEDs, which is why the light show is mostly what this review is going to be about. We were told about CAPELLIX at CES and we were shown PowerPoints such as this, albeit printed out in mono so it looks even more dull than when it's on a screen. And we were told things like CAPELLIX, which is a packaging technology for LEDs. It doesn't change the LEDs themselves, it changes how they're mounted directly to components. Just 0.2 millimeters cubed versus 2.8 millimeters cubed for conventional LED packaging. It's like, what the heck does that mean? To quote, I believe, Elvis Costello when he was talking about music journalism, he said, writing about music is like dancing about architecture, and giving a PowerPoint about LED and lighting technology, just show it to us. So here we are. So we're going to put a load of B-roll throughout this review just to kind of distract you from my voice. So we have of course previously seen RGB memory from Corsair, such as this Vengeance RGB here, which I think I reviewed now about 2 years ago. Now this is 3000 megahertz memory, this is 3200 megahertz memory, so on the face of it similar, but they're not. This is SK Hynix memory and it's relatively slow timings, and now it's actually relatively cheap, surprisingly. If you're looking for a bargain, do consider having a look at Vengeance RGB memory. I don't know if that's one of these they're clearing out stocks jobs or what, but do go off and have a look because memory is brutally expensive. We'll come to pricing, however. So this Dominator RGB is the same form factor as this Dominator Platinum SE here, which Corsair brought out something approaching a year ago. So white heat spreaders and white lights, no RGB. This obviously has the full shooting match, but in terms of form factor, height and all the rest of it, this and this are the same. In terms of the light show, this is completely different, as you'd expect. So you get 12 CAPELLIX LEDs. I think I'm done with all those boxes. Let's get them out of the way. You get 12 LEDs, you have 5 either side of the Dominator lettering, and then you've got some slots at the sides that show the side view, because of course typically you're looking at this face of the RGB. You don't typically get to see that. This is what counts. The control software is iCUE from Corsair. They've updated this software during the course of this review since they sent all this stuff out to reviewers. I have to say that this version of the iCUE, which clearly is a beta at the moment, has been very good. iCUE is the one software to control them all. Link is a thing of the past. When I reviewed Vengeance RGB, we were still using Link. Now it's iCUE. So I've added into the equation a 3-pack of LO120 fans, along with a little lighting node control box that comes with the fans. That's hooked in there, which is why I've got all this spaghetti connecting these fans to the board. So that's 3 cables for the fan controls and 3 for the lighting controls, so it does get a bit messy. Then you've got 2 power connectors. The lighting in the fans and in the memory is approximately in sync. They're doing the same pattern, however, depending on which patterns you choose from the many presets, there's about a dozen, you will find that fans, because the lights go around, and memory, it's linear, it goes up and down, or indeed across, because this is fully addressable. Each LED individually addressable, so as you'll see with, say, the visor light show, the lights can either go back and forth like that or along the length. Totally addressable, works very nicely. Fans, obviously, it goes around and around, and that means that things can look like they're out of whack. You need to choose your light pattern, your preset, depending on which hardware you got installed. If you've got light strips, obviously they would be more akin to the linear lights in the memory. So the lights work very nicely. I have to say that the LEDs, the CAPELLIX LEDs in this Dominator memory here, are streets ahead of what we're used to seeing from that review 2 years ago. But, you know, when all said and done, we're talking detailed differences. That's decent lighting. This is really good lighting. You're paying for the privilege. You can buy team group memory, which is exactly the same spec in terms of timings and clock speed as this particular Dominator RGB memory, and you'll save yourself about £110. This is £500. You can buy the same performance memory for £390. As a percentage, that's a lot. On the other hand, you obviously got to pay something for the lighting technology, so you're paying a premium. No great surprise there. You're paying a premium probably for the fact it's Corsair. No surprise there whatsoever. The upshot is, however, provided you're looking at it going, I want it, you're going to pay a stonking amount of money these days for memory. No two ways about it, because memory is just horribly expensive. So the fact you're paying extra for this CAPELLIX lighting, well, frankly, just live with it. That's what I'd say. Either you want it or you don't. It's expensive. You will pay a premium. Hey ho. Corsair has produced an enormous list of memory kits, something like 20 of them, with either 2 or 4 modules in the kit, so 2 times 8 or 4 times 8 gigabytes, but there are some bigger kits in there. I'm seeing 8 times 16, for example. The most expensive kit there's £1,435, albeit that's for a 128 gigabyte kit. They've also got some really fast memory there. So there's a 16 gig kit clocked at 4,800 megahertz. That'll cost you £815 for 16 gig of memory. So the spread of speeds and latencies is just enormous. This kit is 500 for 32 gig and really tight latencies. It seems like a very smart choice of kit to send out to reviewers. What this says to me is that there are so many different SKUs that the idea you're going to be able to overclock your memory or tighten up timings, I'd have said not much chance of that. I think you'll find that Corsair's done a decent job at the factory. That's typically what happens. If the chips in your memory modules have the potential to go fast, you can pretty much guarantee Corsair would have bin them in a higher end kit. So the memory that you've got, run it as it comes. If you can get more from it, good luck, but do not bank on it, not for one moment. As it stands, the lighting, yeah, really good. Very good to see it. This is clearly the first product that Corsair, as they say in the paperwork, has released with CAPELLIX. We're going to see more and more products coming with it. In a sense, this is the least imaginative way of using it. They've already done RGB RAM. This is better RGB RAM. What we're looking forward to seeing, it was intimated, it was hinted at, is that because they can now more densely pack LEDs together, they can effectively build an LED screen on a product if they really want to. This is lights. I mean, really good lights. You can't see each individual light point. You get this whole effect, and when you change the pattern, it looks absolutely amazing. So that's good. But this is just the start of CAPELLIX with Corsair. 2019, we're going to see also better Wi-Fi technology from them. We saw that in some peripherals. But how they integrate this LED technology in other products, that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing. Because when all said and done, if they put CAPELLIX in fans, as they're bound to do, it's not going to dramatically change the appearance of the fans. It's going to bump it slightly. So we are going to see, for sure, CAPELLIX used in more imaginative ways. This, in a sense, is the more dumb end of CAPELLIX. However, as a first outing, very good indeed. Pricing, yeah, it's terrifying, but just suck it up. That's just what it is. DDR4 testing, it's a bit of a thankless task because you run the benchmarks, and what you typically learn is that slightly faster memory or even much faster memory doesn't really yield you a huge amount. Tighter latencies, they are good. The biggest single difference you tend to see in games is that faster memory and particularly tighter latencies might save you a frame or two on minimum frame rates. It doesn't really tend to give you higher frame rates, it just tends to close up the gap between average and minimum frame rates. So there is a benefit, but really you are buying memory as much as anything for the aesthetic. So this Vengeance RGB is actually SK Hynix RAM, whereas the chips inside this Dominator Platinum RGB are Samsung B die. This combination of Corsair Dominator Platinum RGB memory, the particular SKU that we were sent to review, performance figures we got from the memory, all very encouraging, working in conjunction with the iCUE software, like it. The fact I can put that memory there and those fans there and it looks like a system, that's what it's all about. Like it a lot. By the by, some people think I hate RGB. It's not true. I just find it an awful lot of work. But when you get a result like this, yeah, my heart certainly warms to it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down if you must. We do have a Patreon somewhere. Feel free to check that out. Do make sure you subscribe to our videos. We'll alert you to new videos as they become available. I'm Leo Walder for Kit Guru. This is Corsair Dominator Platinum RGB.